What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video. And in this one, we are going to be talking about the very disappointing loss that the New England Patriots suffered here in really an absolute blowout in week 4 against the Dallas Cowboys on the road in Dallas, of course, on the way in. Make sure you guys do leave a big like on the video. It massively helps out and supports the channel. Like I say, and I always say, we usually have at least about 1,000 of you guys tuning into these videos, and sometimes we're only getting about 70 or 100 likes. If all of you guys just real quick hit that like button, it will massively help support me, the channel, and it will go such a long way into the channel becoming more successful. So if you guys would do that, it would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's roll the Patriots Global intro and hop into today's winners and losers from this loss. It did stall for me. That intro took a minute to come in here. Seems like the software for StreamYard is not working out very well today. First loser on this list. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is the first time in a little while that I feel like I have significantly more losers than I do winners, but I really just could not, in my heart of hearts, truly find out who was a true winner in this game. So starting off with the loser, and quite honestly, my loser of the game, as he rightfully deserves to be in really anybody's book, Mac Jones. Mac Jones was absolutely horrific in this game. And it's really disappointing because Mac Jones hasn't been great. Yes, there are some question marks still surrounding Mac Jones. The Patriots haven't exactly helped Mac Jones over his 3-year tenure between not getting him a true wide receiver one or not getting him a good offensive line to truly see what we have. But you know what? Mac Jones came into this game being a statistical top 10 quarterback, passing yards, passing touchdowns, passing attempts. Yeah, there's some other categories that he's not so great in, but we definitely saw Mac Jones take that step forward so far this season. Last week against the Jets, it was a pretty mid performance by the Patriots team overall, but especially by the Patriots offense in that second half became very mid. And in this game was easily the worst showing so far by the Patriots offense this season. But even worse, I truly believe that this was the worst performance from Mac Jones that I have seen in his entire career. And I'm not just talking about the 2023 season. I'm not just talking about his 3 years with the New England Patriots. I'm talking about since I have seen Mac Jones play a football game, whether that has been with Alabama, whether that's been with the Patriots. This is the worst that I have seen him play. And there is absolutely no excuse for it. I thought that Mac Jones started this game very well. I thought that he was making some really good throws. Obviously, the Patriots offense kind of stalled out there, only being held to 3 points, but they got into the red zone. They were still able to put up some points on the board and tie it to a 3-3 game early on. Mac Jones making some real accurate, some real promising throws early on in this game against the Dallas Cowboys defense, which, by the way, is #1 in takeaways and #1 in scoring defense. So the fact that Mac Jones was looking good to start the game gave me a lot of promise, but unfortunately, that was the only good that we saw from Mac Jones really that entire game, because pretty quickly, started in that second quarter, it looked like he stalled out. He made one mistake. It led to more mistakes. He came behind and he got in his head. And honestly, it didn't really look like Mac Jones gave a whole lot of a crap about it. Now, in his presser, he did say and take responsibility that he has to be better, but he looked like he was in a very good mood, which I know a lot of people are kind of having mixed feelings about. But today, Mac Jones finishes with 21 attempts, 12 completions, 150 total yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and took 1 sack. Mac Jones really should have thrown about 3 or 4 interceptions and was lucky enough to only throw 1 pick six. He was lucky, and that's crazy to have to say, but on 3 different occasions, he should have thrown a pick six, but one, a defender dropped the ball, which is why you don't see 3 interceptions. One of those interceptions of his out of the 2 was a pick six, and the other one Thank God the defender was tackled by Juju, or that guy would have been lights out into the end zone. And we are talking about Mac Jones throwing 3 pick sixes in one game. I thought he played a horrific game. There was even a point where, he didn't hit Mike Gesicki on a play. There was a point where he didn't hit Devontae Parker on, I believe in the third quarter, it was either a slant or an in route. Didn't hit Devontae Parker there. He had 2 steps on the defender. It was on third down. Mac hits him and just places the ball where it should be. And that's a first down by the Patriots. Ultimately, they're probably going to lose that game, but it's still a first down by the Patriots nonetheless. I understand that Mac Jones was under pressure. He was under duress a lot of this game, but he's excelled under pressure this year. I think too much we are seeing Mac Jones scrambling, going out wide, trying to extend plays. He's throwing passes over his body. Things that you should not be doing as a quarterback. And Mac Jones, his mechanics are messed off, and he's going away from the type of quarterback, his best attributes going into the draft. And, it's a serious question on, did 2022 mess up Mac Jones' mechanics so much to this being where he is now and throwing off his time? And it honestly might have. But let's get on to the next player here. Let's talk about a winner, right? We just went on for 5-6 minutes about Mac Jones. Let's try to talk a little bit on a more positive note, which there isn't a whole lot in this video. But my winner on this list is going to be Demario "Pop" Douglas. Now, after that fumble against Miami, there were real questions on what was Pop Douglas going to be for this team? What was his outlook going to be? He played last week, but didn't really play all that much, but looked really good today against Dallas. And we don't have his snap count yet to kind of compare that to what he did last week. But we already know that Pop Douglas, the most explosive player on this Patriots current roster, especially with Tyquan Thornton on the injured reserve, who is your fastest receiver. So with that being said, you got to get Demario more involved. And one of the first plays that Mac Jones goes to is a big play to Demario Douglas along the sides, kind of hits that Madden-style joystick, does a little spin, gets some yards after the catch. This is why you need to see more of Pop Douglas. And we've been screaming for it. We've been clamoring for it. He's showing you why. Yeah, he fumbled that one time, but for the most part, when you get the ball in Pop Douglas's hands, he's going to go out. He's going to make a play. Between his speed, between his yards after the catch ability, he is a play waiting to happen. And in an offense that is stalling out between Juju Smith-Schuster not being healthy, although I did think he looked a little bit better today compared to what we've seen, them not getting Mike Gesicki involved, which should be a crime. It's really just Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas when you give him the ball, and Kendrick Bourne on an inconsistent level from here to there. Got to get Demario Douglas more involved, but today he was targeted 3 times, 2 receptions, 45 total yards, and the longest play for the Patriots offensively with a long of 42 yards. Get Pop Douglas more involved because, my friends, let me tell you, he absolutely shines when you give him that ability. But guys, the next loser on this list, in fact, let me bring that up for you guys. I know how this is some of you track in the videos who the winners and losers are. So let me pull up that graphic there for you. But my next loser on this list, it's injuries. Point blank, it was injuries. And this is something that has kind of plagued the Patriots in a couple of different times so far this season. But today, man, it was bad. And arguably, these injuries are really what switched up that momentum early on. Now, of course, Mac Jones turning over the ball switched up momentum, but that Christian Gonzalez injury early on in the game absolutely switched the momentum of this team. I would say especially that defense, which I did think played well, but it was definitely a momentum switcher. This team has been dealing with a lot of injuries, especially on defense, and today it got worse. And the scary part is that the defense is the only reason, the only thing that is keeping the Patriots afloat right now. They won 1 game, and we're talking about afloat right now. That is the one thing that is keeping them alive. Belichick believes in winning games by a defense and not asking your offense to do a whole lot. Well, unfortunately, when you don't have a lot offensively, and now you're dealing with several different injuries defensively, it's a question mark on what's really going to keep this team afloat now. Christian Gonzalez goes down with a dislocated shoulder. We will make a video on that when the timetable does officially come out, but he could be missing a significant amount of time, if not on the injured reserve for the season. I've heard different contemplating rumors about how long he can go out. We heard a former Patriot, Marquise Flowers, say that a dislocated shoulder, wouldn't be surprised if that kept Gonzo out for the rest of the season. But nonetheless, it's going to keep him out for several weeks, and he's likely going to be an IR candidate. Then, of course, late in the game when the Patriots are just going to get blown out and losing this game already, Matthew Judon goes down with an injury, was essentially making a tackle or trying to make a tackle, an arm tackle, grabs the, I believe it was a running back for the Cowboys, but grabs him by the jersey. They have another Cowboys offensive player come up, kind of pushing Judon. So Judon is getting pushed forward while his arm is grabbing the player and getting pushed back. He ends up having what was, I believe, an elbow tear, if I remember correctly, which we'll see how long he'll be out. But at the very minimum, he's another IR candidate 100%. He's going to miss significant amount of time, but he's another guy that unfortunately very, very well could be out for the season. New England goes down their top 2 defensive players easily, and 2 of the guys that are keeping them afloat right now, Christian Gonzalez, who was the rookie of the month defensively just a couple of days ago and is in the run for defensive rookie of the year, and obviously Matthew Judon, who was top 10 in the race for defensive player of the year. It's hard to get around those guys and losing them. And then you obviously have Jabril Peppers, who in about the 4th quarter went down when he was making a very aggressive tackle, missed it, ended up coming back, making the tackle again and securing it. Looked like it was a screen pass there for the Cowboys. No real word on him, but it was very much towards the end of the game. He was on the sideline getting looked at, looked like he was in pain. So secondary getting even more blown up and injury filled than it already is. And the Patriots obviously losing their best pass rusher also at that. But guys, real quick, I want to share with you something that I think could really benefit you guys if you are a sports betting fan or you like to go to the casino and you like to do a little bit of sports betting. We're going to be talking about the sponsors of today's video over at BetUS and my friends over at BetUS who will be sponsoring this channel all season long, guys. Thanks to BetUS, you guys are getting some Patriots Global content all season long. As you guys know, the channel has been demonetized for about a month or 2 now. Very unfortunate. Has definitely hurt the channel in a lot of different ways, but we would not be able to be here if it wasn't for BetUS. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out BetUS right now. There's going to be a link in the description below and pinned in the comment section below. Go show them some support and tell them Patriots Global sent you. You know, go ahead and sign up for them with them and just see what all the hype is about that I've been telling you guys about BetUS. You guys can also get a 125% sign-up bonus, which is more than doubling your initial deposit, which means, let's say, for example, you put down $100, that turns into $225 for you to play with, which is absolutely crazy, guys. Again, go ahead and check out BetUS with the link in the description or pinned in the comment section below. Sign up. It's super quick. You put your name, you put your number, you put your address or your email, a couple different steps. Within 2-3 minutes, you guys are already in BetUS playing and having some fun. Sign up and see what all the hype is about. And guys, support the sponsors who support the channel, because without them, we literally could not be here giving you this content right now. So go ahead and check them out, guys. BetUS is the leading online betting platform, offering a wide range of sports betting and casino games. Also super reliable. They also have great customer service. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, you can rely on them. You guys can also download their app on the App Store or visit their website. They are very versatile there. And they also, when you deposit your funds, can redeem different bonuses in order to get started. They also have a plethora of different sports that you guys are able to bet on. Very popular sports at that too, whether that's been football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and even more. Go ahead and check them out. My favorite part about BetUS is actually their NFL futures and just fun different things that you can bet on with them. They also have a variety of different types of bets that you can place, right? Pre-game bets, live betting, parlays, and player props. Go ahead and check those guys out over on BetUS. And like I said, tell them Patriots Global sent you. It will really help out the channel. So guys, my next winner on this list, which unfortunately, this is going to be the last winner on this list. There really wasn't a whole lot, but The winner on this list next up is going to be the New England Patriots defense. I really do think that the Patriots defense played absolutely stout. Now, at the end of the day, the score was 3-38, but if you take 14 points away from that 38 points, that's about 24 points that the Patriots were able to hold Dak Prescott and this Dallas Cowboys offense too. And they obviously have a lot of different weapons. I mean, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, not to mention a very good offensive line, which did get back a lot of starters today as they were a little bit banged up before this game. Not to mention that, Mac Jones also threw another interception, which did put the Cowboys in good field position. So again, Patriots offense didn't exactly help out this defense, but at the end of the day, they held Dak Prescott to 261 total yards today. 34 passes overall, 28 total completions, only one passing touchdown, 0 interceptions. They were able to go ahead and sack him a total of 3 times. And even in terms of the running game, they were able to hold Tony Pollard to 47 yards on 11 total carries. Let me get back on the screen here for you guys. But 47 yards on 11 total carries, a long run of 16 total yards between let's say 8 or 9 different players. They had a total of 30 total rush attempts today offensively for Dallas for 124 yards total and 1 touchdown. Ultimately, a long run of 46 yards. That did come later on in the game, which does elevate those stats even a little bit more. But at that game, it was wide away from the Patriots to win, so it doesn't exactly matter. I thought that, again, the defense played a very good game, a very reasonable game against a very good offense. It was the Patriots it was Patriots offense that essentially shot themselves in the foot while the defense was actually playing a good game. More specifically, 2 players that stand out to me on this Patriots defense that I think had very good games were Patriots Wise. He had 4 total tackles, 2 were solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. There was also a point where it seemed like towards the end of the game, players were getting into a scuffle. He came in, was being a little bit of a funny guy, as Patriots Wise is, and separated everybody from it getting too heated. You love to see it. Then Josh Uche also had a very good game, a very similar stat line to Patriots Wise. But Josh Uche, 3 total tackles, 2 were solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. I thought that this defense, for what it was given, for the positions that it was put in, played a very, very, very reasonable game. Again, holding Dak Prescott to less than 300 yards and Tony Pollard to less than 50 yards, with the leading receiver for the Dallas Cowboys going at just 77 yards. Again, you really can't argue with what the defense of New England was able to do against this offense for the Cowboys. But guys, getting back into my losers, I have about 2 more losers on this list, and then we'll log off for today. But my next loser on this list is going to be Bill O'Brien. And this could be Belichick, but I really do put this mainly on Bill O'Brien. He's the offensive coordinator. He's the guys that's game planning and calling the plays at the end of the day. I can't understand why Ezekiel Elliott was given 6 total carries. He had 3. He had 3 more carries than Mac Jones did today. Look, I understand that Ramondre Stevenson coming into this season was going to be your lead back, but you know what? This offensive line for the Patriots has some real run blocking issues. So until that is figured out, why are we not rolling with the running back that has actually showed us production? Never has Ezekiel Elliott been given the opportunity under this system to be the bell cow. And I love Mondre from every perspective. But what the Patriots need right now can be brought to you by Ezekiel Elliott. We don't have the offensive line to run block up front. And unfortunately, Ramondre isn't the type of back that Zeke is. He's strong. He can kind of push through some guys, but he's more elusive. He's going to stiff arm. He's going to, put a couple juke moves on you. He's going to be elusive at the end of the day, as where Ezekiel Elliott, he's not really that fast, but he's a power back, and he is a hard guy to tackle. He's a hard guy to get down because he's going to pin his shoulder down and carry a few guys with him. And that's what the Patriots need right now. It's very hard to get Ezekiel Elliott to fall backwards when you're tackling him. Zeke Elliott always falls forward when he's going down, when he's being tackled, which is actually what you want your backs to do, because it means that they're going to at least pick up yardage. You never see Zeke Elliott stopped behind the line of scrimmage. You either see him at the line of scrimmage or in front of the line of scrimmage. So until this offensive line's run blocking gets figured out, why don't you roll with the guy that's actually going to give you production? Why don't you roll with the guy that actually knows the offense, or knows the defensive scheme, rather, that you're going up against in the Dallas Cowboys, because he was there for so long. You know how much this game meant to Zeke Elliott. There were reports before the game coming out that Zeke Elliott was reportedly going to be the bell cow running back for the Patriots today because of his connection to Dallas. And you give him 6 total attempts. 6 total attempts, 16 yards, and a long run of 9 yards. Ramondre Stevenson giving 14 attempts for 30 yards and a long run of 8. Last week, Zeke gave us the best production we've been given out of a running back so far this season, and that came when the Patriots gave him more opportunities on the ground. So why in God's name are we still not rolling with Zeke Elliott and continuing to limit him, especially in a game against his old team? You know he wanted to come out, you know he wanted to win, and all you did was embarrass him by getting him absolutely blown out by his previous team, and then not even giving him the opportunity to produce against his old team. I don't know what that was. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like they say, you know what? We have the guys that we specifically like. We don't care what the stats say, what the game plan says. We don't care what's more productive. We're just going to roll with the guys that we like the most and are listed as number 1 on our depth chart, and it needs to stop because it is hurting this team. My last loser on this list is going to be offensive guard Mike Onwenu. I don't know the stat line at the end of the day of Michael Onwenu right now. I don't know what he was given up in terms of pressures and quarterback hits and whatnot. But the reason that he is a loser on this list is because he helped put the offense into long positions to succeed, which has made this Patriots offense have to operate in a more intermediate to deep passing situations, right? And this team's not that bad in those short to intermediate routes. In fact, Mac Jones has actually been stellar so far this season when passing in their intermediate section of the field. The Patriots, though, they are one of the most targeted teams in terms of shots down the field, as in your deep shots, but they are one of the last ranked teams, if not the last ranked team after today, in terms of those big plays, those splash plays, which are considered 20 yards or more. That's been the Patriots' issue. But because of these issues with the Patriots getting flags, especially along their offensive line, something that leads to not having discipline, which is not Patriots football, but something that is rolling over from last year, which did the exact same thing, which is put Mac Jones and the Patriots offense in long positions to succeed, which they're not in a position to actually convert on. Michael Onwenu today, though, three different false starts, 3 different penalty flags on him, and that unfortunately was only in the first half. Again, I have to see what he did in the second half. Don't have all the stats put up in front of me, but I put down in my notes 3 different times in just the first half in very bad scenarios and situations where the Patriots still were able to come back, put the Patriots in longer positions on the field to succeed. You can't do that. What's going to kill the Patriots, I said, was unnecessary penalties this year and injuries. And today, both of those happened. These are going to be my winners and losers from today's blowout loss to the Dallas Cowboys. What are your guys' thoughts? Who are your winners? Who are your losers? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching. And, of course, never forget, go Pats. Make sure you guys also enter those giveaways on Mojo. Just gave away the Zeke Elliott helmet, or excuse me, the Christian Gonzalez helmet, but we got a Zeke Elliott home jersey being given away. So make sure you guys also check out Mojo. More for those details.